What's happening, everyone? This is Uncle Devin, the children's drum cushionist, and thank you for joining us again for another edition of We Nation Radio or the We Nation podcast, which is connected to We Nation Radio. Now, We Nation Radio, as you may know, stands for Watoto Entertainment and Education. And Watoto is a Swahili word that means children. So we're bringing you the best in family friendly global beats for little feet. But even more, we stream R&B, hip hop, funk, jazz, reggae, calypso, go go, and world music. Many of those genres that get ignored in other stations, you will find it right here on We Nation Radio. So you can always visit us at wenationradio.com uh, to hear and read and see and learn more because we got a lot. We do story time. We kind of bring you a little bit of everything. So check us out at wenationradio.com. But what we also do is bring you interviews. And that's what we love to do because, there are so many artists that are making some great music, and I want you to know all about them, especially our special guest that we have today. Now, I've known our guest probably since I first started into the family music industry in 2012. And I believe she's been in the family music genre, children's music, even longer. She's based out of New York, and I love the name of the group. It's called Shine and the Moonbeams. Ain't that neat? And so I want you to help me welcome to the We Nation podcast, the one and only Shawana Kemp or we call her Shine of Shine in the Moonbeams. Welcome to We Nation.
Hello. Hi, Devin. Thanks for
It is.
having me.
Oh, thank you. And thank you, first of all, for everything you've been doing for years and being a pioneer in this industry for all children's artists, but in particular for Black artists. Thank you so much. Tell the audience a little bit about who you are.
Well, I am Shine of the band Shine and the Moonbeams. I write most of the songs with my partner, John Hegel. And we've been at this for about 10 years, maybe 11, because we were writing songs before we started performing them. But I basically write music that is child-centered, family-centered, and that is in the tradition of soul music and funk and the music that I grew up on and I love, and I'm a big fan of music, but I am a big fan of Black American music, and I celebrate that and try to introduce young people to those sounds and those themes that have always been in Black American music. And it's my pleasure. And I kind of stumbled into it through my friend Monique Martin, who kind of was
Yeah.
like, I've had bands. I've always had a band. I've always been singing. I've written adult music as well. But I had my son, Zachary was about 3 or 4, and I was watching a lot of Nickelodeon, and some of it was just not resonating with me. I was just like, okay, it was just not. And I said, we're going to be in this moment for a minute. He's going to be in that, newborn to 7, 8-year-old person for a while. And I said, what if let me see if I can write some songs that I would love for him to hear and that I would love to hear myself. And so that was sort of the catalyst. And so Monique was like, you should do family music. And I was like, well, what's that? And I just started writing about kids who were in the world, what they would be talking about or what they would be doing, and then setting it to the sounds that I love. And
Well,
so that's what.
I think about so much of your music, and it is absolutely funk, R&B you don't dumb it down, but you
No,
make it age appropriate. And that's what I love about it.
thank
What's
you.
my favorite called? Shake the Eight? Is that
Shake
one?
for Eight. What?
Yeah.
And Shake for Eight always closes our show. Shake for Eight is the
Yeah.
song where we have them now. We got them.
Mhm.
They're in the palm of
Mhm.
our hand. They don't really want the show to end. And so we kind of end the show always with Shake for Eight. And it's in the tradition of Cameo and
Mhm.
that whole funk, Morris Day, Prince,
Yes.
James Brown. where
Yes.
it's just sort of like a dance song. Get up, come on. I want to move my body. And when the music plays, no one I can't stop my, and that was the song that actually crystallized our, because we didn't really know what we were quite doing. We were just kind of, I was making it up. I was like, okay,
Mhm,
children's music. I don't know.
mhm.
And then that song, because it really counts, which is, again, trying to also craft music that teaches.
Yes.
So that song, I remember we were in a library in Chinatown, and the librarian was like, I love it. Like,
Mhm.
we're booking you today. We want you back like tomorrow. And something about her reaction to that song made me go, okay, I get it. I get
Ye
what
y
I get the assignment,
That's it.
And
Yes.
so I love that song too. And it's fun. And
Mhm.
everybody comes up, and I call out all the names that are possibly that could be in the room, and
Yeah.
Ray Ray, Mama Lim, Bartholomew, Mustafa.
That's right.
you know. So
Uh,
it's fun, and we end that. It's like ending the party with that song.
yes. And what album is that off of?
That's the first record.
Yes.
That's the Shine in the Moonbeams. And that record was that one was a hard act to follow. I have to say,
Yeah, that oh my god, I can listen to that over and over. I mean,
that
whew,
that
I'm
was one of those things that was like that was Jesus.
yeah, right.
I remember I was in school. I went back to school, and I would swim on Thursdays, and I'm a swimmer, and
Okay, great.
I would swim on Tuesdays and Thursdays because I had classes that were far apart. And I wrote most of that song in the pool. Like I would, because it was boring.
Mhm,
Swimming can
mhm.
be just like,
Yeah.
and I would, while I was swimming, I would kind of craft the lyric and the
Mhm.
melody. And I wrote I Can't Sleep in the Pool. I wrote
Wow.
Kilimanjaro in the pool. I remember like getting out of the pool going, I got it,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so for me, that's another thing. I've learned that I write in motion. Like I'm
Mhm,
someone who's very good if I'm on the subway, or if I'm on a
mhm.
plane, or if I'm on, if I'm in the back seat of a car, I kind of that's always been really how melody will come to me is when I'm
Sure.
in motion.
So
So
now you have a new album right now,
I
called I Am. Tell us a
yes.
little bit about that.
Well, I am came out of basically the pandemic.
Mhm,
I wrote it last summer,
mhm,
and it was a gift because I had gotten really busy between that first record. Zachary, my son, who's now 15, was about 4. And it was a different kind of rhythm in my life. He was young.
mhm.
John would come over, he took naps and stuff, so it was like a totally different time period. And then I got busy because I went back to school. I became a teacher, and life kind of took over, and the pandemic kind of offered us a moment to bring it down and really kind of take our time with what I wanted to say, what I was thinking about. And what I was thinking about at that time, because of George Floyd and all of that, was what can we offer children in a moment where the world has shifted so much, and they
Mhm.
were actually afraid to kind of even go outside and
Right.
talk to people. And so what can I give? What would be the gift
Mhm.
to a young person at this particular moment in time? And I
Right.
felt the gift would be more of an inner reflective. Who am I? What do I believe? What makes me happy? What brings me joy? Um, and those again, always the relationship with the mother.
Yeah.
Um, and just crafting a narrative
Mhm.
for where the children are right now, and where the young people
Yeah.
are right now, and where they are is they're inside. So
They
kind
are.
of
Yeah.
an opportunity for them to really go inside of themselves and ask themselves some questions about what do they believe in, what are they
Yes.
what are they interested in, what brings you joy, I love Don't Yuck My Yum.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I just it's so simple and silly, but that's, it's like,
Mhm.
I like broccoli,
Mhm.
you like string beans, and
Right.
giving them permission to say, I own my voice and my point of view and it might change, but right
Yes.
now, I like chicken wings with collard greens.
There it is.
you know, so leave me alone. Um, so that was the point. The point was just like, what is your inner life? I talk about God a lot in this record, and we have gotten away from like, oh, I don't want to say God because there's so many religions, and I was like, well, yeah, and they all have a God.
Yeah,
So,
that's right. And that's your experience. I mean, everyone need to be who they are, and so I love it. Mhm.
well, and I mean, I'm not gonna ever preach. I don't, but I
Yeah,
grew up in the
exactly.
church. My grandmother was a preacher,
Okay.
and we were in church, honey. So, and I just God, it was God, the devil, and us. And so, like, so for me, talking about God is like, waking up in the morning.
Yes.
And it's not church, it's not
Yeah.
necessarily Christianity.
Yeah.
But there is something bigger than me.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to sort of introduce that also. And
Mhm.
just and maybe it'll be a conversation, and that's
Yeah.
always the point. The point is to sort of introduce ideas and concepts and words, and to give opportunity for conversation
Mhm.
with family, and we do automatopoeia because I'm a
Mhm.
teacher,
Okay.
and I didn't want to be too preachy.
Mhm.
But and automatopoeia was one of the most difficult songs for me to write because I didn't want to be preachy. So I had to figure out a way to kind of get it in there
Right.
without it being an English lesson.
Right.
So
Mhm.
I think I did a great. I
So
enjoy the writing process because for me it
yeah.
has to be it's challenging. Like
Mhm.
I want to tell a story. I want to kind of teach. I want to have a great melody. So it's
Mhm.
a lot that I'd be asking of myself. I'm like, Shawana, okay, this is a tall order, but
Right. And what does onomatopoeia mean?
well, automatopoeia are the words that sound like what they are. Bang, boom, pow. Batman words.
Okay. Yes.
Um, so um and kids love those words. And kids
Mhm.
so I thematically the song was about a little boy whose sister is born, and it kind of shifts the focus on the sister. So he's having a hard time, but he can't really express himself fully about how he's not having her. So he's
Mhm.
like, bang, boom, get her out of my room. And that's kind of, like a nice
Yeah.
way of saying, get her out of here. Um, and then, we have an arc where he's like, okay, okay, she loves me. She thinks I'm the cat's meow. So you can
Mm.
stay now. Um, so yes, it was a fun process, but it was slow, and it was easy
Mhm.
because we had time.
Mm.
And John would come over, and I always cook, and
Mhm.
you know he loves my cooking, and that was the offering. It's like, okay, you come over, chicken, he wants some chicken.
Mhm.
And we've been working together for so long, we almost understand each other's thoughts. Like, I can go, give me I want a little, with
Mhm.
a little hot, put some cayenne pepper on. He's like, okay, okay. He understands what I'm saying.
Right, right.
Um, and he loves music too. So we just have like, his approach is very different from mine. I come from a
Mhm.
very feeling African, where's the beat?
Mhm.
This is what I want to feel.
Mhm.
And he comes from the notes. Like, that's
Okay.
diminished sharp, or the D minor seven. I'm like, okay, good.
Yeah,
Okay, good. It sounds
right.
good. It feels right. Good.
Mhm.
Write it down. Um, and we've been at it for so long that we really work really well together in terms of coming up with stuff very um I wouldn't say easily, but definitely stuff that feels like that's it. That's
Okay,
exactly
okay.
what was in my head.
So I was going to ask you to who collaborated with you on this album, and I believe you may have some other artists on there that help on one or two of the songs, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, we have Kenna Ramsey, who's
Hmm.
in LA, and
Hmm.
I've known her for many, many, many years. We did a
Hmm.
play together when I was, in my 20s.
Hmm.
And she just, we were on the phone one day and she was just like, I'll do background vocals for you. And I was like, okay, what? The background vocals are insane to the
Yes.
point where when we did it live this last week, I'm so used to hearing them that I was like, what do Kenna, are
Yeah.
you in town? Because I
Yeah.
need you. So beautiful. The backgrounds are just, she's excellent.
Hmm.
And I feel like it took it to another level in terms,
Hmm.
because I always did my own backgrounds, but there's
Hmm.
something about just having another voice that makes
It
it,
is.
that brings it, that elevates it.
Yes.
So that was, and again, all over the phone, like
Yes.
texting me these background vocals that I'm like, what?
Right.
So her and Brad Whiteley did keyboards.
Hmm.
But he was on the second record. We didn't really have, who did we have that were guests?
Let's see.
Rashawn Carter
Hmm.
is played bass on some of the records. He's from
Wow.
DC.
Yes.
His brother Russell is our drummer. He's from DC as well.
Hmm.
So
Killing it.
that's where that go,
Yeah. Yeah.
like that real
Killing it.
yes.
Yeah.
But we didn't really it's the same players, which
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
is a great opportunity, because when you've been playing together for so long, you fall into the right
Hmm.
pocket.
Yeah.
That's my dog. He's
I don't think he likes my voice.
no, he's a guard dog these days. He's very
Oh,
smart,
okay.
but he thinks he's, guarding me. So um it's live in full effect, everyone.
No, that's all right. Hey,
It's
this
live.
is the life we live. That's all right. I'd rather the dog be doing his job than not doing his job. So we're
Exactly.
good.
So
Yeah.
um but what I wanted to do also with this record is pay homage to the people that came before us. So there's a
Yes.
song there's so most of this stuff is in the canon of the things that I love. Like there's a
Hmm.
disco song. I love
Hmm.
disco. What?
Yes.
Disco.
Hmm.
My aunt owned a disco when I was growing up. She owned a
Oh,
club.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And
In New York?
in New York, she owned a
Whoa.
club, and so we always had the cutting edge,
Hmm.
the new song that was out.
Yeah.
And my aunt was very fun. So she would let me, like, my mother would be like, get off that bed. And my aunt would, as soon as my mother would leave, she's like, jump on the bed, do it, go. And so we'd listen to Don't Leave Me This Way, and she
Yeah.
would like let me go crazy. And so
Hmm.
disco for me is freedom, because my aunt was like, do it, jump
Yeah.
higher, more,
Wow.
you know.
Wow.
So she always gave me permission to like go all the way live.
Hmm.
And that was always, the soundtrack was always disco.
Yeah.
So I love disco. And so there's High Frequency, which is in that
Hmm.
era.
Hmm.
And then Funky Leg is kind of a James Brown homage to James Brown.
Hmm.
And also in tandem with this relationship between, I mean, I always feel like I'm writing about Zachary when it's very specific.
Hmm.
Um, and so the mother and Zachary are always, at it. Go to bed,
Right.
Zachary did not like to go to bed. It would be like 2 o'clock in the morning, and all of a sudden he'd be at the doorway to come out. Can I have some water? And I'm like, it's 2 o'clock. Why are you up? And so I'm always trying to craft stories about that relationship and that personality, because it was a
Sure.
lot. And I Am, which is the title track,
Hmm.
um, to be completely honest, came from Peloton, because
Mm.
during the pandemic, I was on that bike, because my grandmother used to call me high strung, and I think
Mhm.
she was right. I'm not, I can't not do anything. Like I have
Mhm.
to, I'm a goer. I need to do something. I need to be involved. I need to be talking to somebody. I need
Mhm.
to be engaged. So the pandemic was about to take me out of here, because I was just like, okay,
Yeah.
I thought this was only going to be 6 weeks.
Mhm.
What's going on? You know what it,
Right.
so I had to figure out how to get through this. And so the Peloton, um Alex Toussaint says, I can, I will, I am. So that's one of his mantras. And so, I was listening to him every day. And so finally I was like, I like that saying. I'm going to add some melody to that. And so I was like, I am, I can, I will, I do. All that you have is inside of you. I am, I can, I will, I see that all that I need is inside of me. So that's where the melody kind of came. So and then I said, okay, so now craft it. And one of the things that I find just as a teacher is that our students, because they're not really reading that much, they're on a lot of social media and a lot of TikTok and da 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 da. So their lexicon is getting smaller and smaller. And so sometimes when you say, okay, give me another word for courage or brave, they get stuck. So I wanted to write a song that also kind of taught several ways of saying, um, I am courageous. I am resilient.
Right.
I persevere. I'm steadfast. I am. So it was also bringing in the teacher that lives in me,
Yes.
and my love of words. I love, love, love words, and so that was also what came from that. Was like I wanted to give them
Yes.
a couple of ways of saying, I'm all right.
Yes.
I can,
Absolutely.
and I can keep it moving. And but that is really, I am is really in the spirit of Earth, Wind, and Fire, which
Yeah.
what?
Yes.
I listen to
Yes.
Earth, Wind, and Fire at least 3 times a week.
I follow them on Facebook, and so I'm always getting updates. I mean, just watching. Sometimes just the guitar player will just go and play some of the licks on that. They are absolutely incredible. So
It's spiritual, it's
yes.
astrology,
Oh,
it's
without a
everything.
doubt, the
It's
Dogon. Oh yeah.
us, it's collard greens, it's a little bit of sweet potato on the side, you know. Um, and it's opera,
Mhm,
I
mhm.
mean, it's so the musicianship is so insane and
Yeah.
so layered and so arrayed. Like, please, it's not a
No,
game.
no, it
And
really is.
so I kind of wanted to, pay homage because um I grew up listening to Earth, Wind, and Fire. My mother was also my mother's very eclectic in her musical taste. So
Mhm,
we listened to and I thank God for that. I
mhm.
listened to everything. Fleetwood Mac, the
Yes.
Eagles,
Oh yeah.
Mandrill. I mean, we listened, and my mother's record collection was nuts.
Wow.
And Bob Marley, like it was just like we got up in the morning and we went through every genre. Phoebe Snow,
Mhm.
Barbara Streisand, like, so my ear, she trained my ear because if I went on a TV show where there was some money involved, I could win. I could take you on a cruise, Devin, because Mama knows her music,
Yeah.
and that's what I want to give to children. I want
Mhm,
them to not be limited in their scope of what music is,
mhm,
and what it and it not being for them just because the person who's singing or
mhm.
is not black or
Exactly.
white. Music belongs to us all. And
That's
if
right.
the song is good, then I don't really
Mhm.
care who's singing it. I just, but because we haven't had enough
Mhm.
of our music being put and celebrated at the level that it should, that is
Yes.
my first intention. My first
Great.
intention is to always um just let people understand how insanely talented
Mhm.
Black American musicians are and how much they've contributed at singers.
Right.
Hey,
Mhm.
sorry, y'all. I have to
No,
get serious.
no, that's okay. Because in fact, what I was gonna say is, and hold that thought when you're there. I want to share a little bit of a video
Okay.
from a song "I Can't Sleep," which is off of that first album, right?
Hmm. Yes.
And I want to share just about 30, 45 seconds of the video. The video is gorgeous, but the music, I mean, I can't stop singing it. And but was that did you write that because of Zachary, your son?
Oh, yes.
Or
That was autobiographical. Um, Listen, the stories that would go on in that room,
Mhm.
I would be like, Zachary, come on, stop. No, for real. There was an angel in the window and they were talking to me and they just, I was like, okay. So a lot of that first record came from me, and like, I was used to get such a kick out of him because he always wanted to talk to me. He was,
Mhm.
because I think because I'm so animated and so big that he felt like he
Mhm.
had to match. Like he had to tell me something fantastical every
Right.
time, he was like, I got something to tell you. And I was like, you do? And so I was always so tickled by, how everything would just get more and more. You know what happened tonight? What happened tonight, Zachary? What are they doing in there? So that's where it kind of came from. It
Okay.
did come from exactly from him because it was always
Okay.
something going on in there. I was like,
Okay.
okay.
Well, good. Well, I'm gonna give everyone just a little taste of "I Can't Sleep," which this is Shine in the Moonbeam.
I can't sleep, mama, it's no lie, it's no lie, and I'll tell you why. There's a lion that lives under my pillow, his best friend is an armadillo. They party, they dance, they scream, they fight, and keep me up half the night. I can't sleep, mama, it's true. Did I forget to mention the kangaroo? The kangaroo on the fire escape. He wears a polka dot bow tie and roller skates. He sings opera at the top of his lungs, and I have a headache before he's done.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it right there, just as a tease. Do you all hear that and see that wonderful video? And you can go. I want you to go. Make sure you go to her Instagram page where you can follow Shine in the Moonbeams. And then you can also go to that song is on your YouTube page as
It's
well.
on
Is
my
that
YouTube page, Shining the
yes,
Moonbeams.
yes.
And it got over 2 million views, which was really
Wow.
amazing. Um,
Absolutely.
I kept looking at it and it was like, one day it would be like 10,000, the next day it would be like 20. I'm like, who is listening to this? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that was
Right.
beautiful.
Yes.
And it was one of those songs. The reason why I chose that song to sort of animate all of this happened again through the pandemic because I had time and I was like, okay, so what can I do? I can't perform live.
Mm-hmm.
What can I do? So I contacted Andres123 and he told me about Purita in he's in Colombia.
Yes.
And we talked on the phone, not even really through, technology is
Yeah.
amazing. So we
Mhm.
went, back and forth and I just sort of said, this is kind of what I want. And it's already sort of illustrated through the words.
Yes.
And he did an excellent job and I'm
Oh,
very
oh,
proud
that's
of it.
awesome. Yes.
And hoping to do more because I did also get a book interest from that. So this summer I also
Wonderful. Wonderful.
stretched it out because a 3-minute song is not a book. So
That's right.
it was very interesting to because you get caught up in like it's fine. What's the
Yeah.
problem? You don't need to change it. And it's like
Yeah.
so I was pushed to expand it, which was a great exercise. But of
Mhm.
course we're all like I feel like it's fine.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that was interesting.
Mhm.
And but again, that was in the tradition of like Ella Fitzgerald or a
Yes.
Sarah Vaughan. And again, that whole we've contributed so much beautiful music that is not being honored at the
Yes.
level that I feel needs to be honored. And I don't feel like I need to be a jazz singer to
Mhm.
sing jazz, or a, you know, pop icon to do something really poppy. And that's
Mhm.
what music, I think that's what children's music offers me. Because
Mhm.
when I was pursuing an adult career, it was that. Well, what do you
Yeah.
do? Like, what do you do? Dance music? Well, well, what about, and it was very difficult to choose because I
Yeah.
love music. So I was always like, well, I like R&B, but I don't want to sing ballads every time I sing. And I don't
Right.
want to, and I don't, I love hip hop,
Mhm.
but I love funk. I love Shaka Khan.
Yes.
I love, so children's music gave me the opportunity to do all of the things I love without it being like, well, what do you do? It's like,
Exactly.
I do music.
Yes.
And hopefully it's an entry point for the ear, like
Yes.
I like the way that sounds, and
Mhm.
then they can go down the rabbit hole
Mhm.
to the root of that. So if they
Exactly.
like Funky Leg, go listen to some James Brown. If
Mhm.
you like High Frequency, which is my disco, because I'm very excited about the disco.
Yes.
Go listen to Donna Summers, who's like,
Mhm.
I love that. Like,
Oh yeah,
so
without a doubt.
it's like, if you like the way this makes you feel, if you like
Mhm.
the way this resonates for you, go to the root, because I'm not the root. I'm celebrating them. I'm thankful that I what came up during the time when this stuff was even on the radio.
Yes.
But the beauty of YouTube, you can, it's a click away. You
That's
can
it.
go Donna Summers, boom,
Yes.
the whole canon comes up.
Right.
So that's my offering with this record, is like, go to the root.
Mhm.
Go listen to some great music in these genres that are us, you know,
Yeah.
and and
Yes.
and and you could, this is an assignment, because this is not a day, this is not a 2 day, 3 day, oh, I did it, check. This
Right.
is, you can go down the rabbit hole for years
Mhm.
looking at Black American amazing music.
That's right. Just
So
one genre alone, let alone all the different genres. So yeah.
exactly. And if you like Prince, then you have to like, I was talking to my mother yesterday. I was like, I was listening to Pop Life.
Mhm.
Pop Life. What's the matter with your clothes? I was like, he was kind of a funk, he was a new
Mhm.
version of James Brown.
That's right. That's
You
right.
know, um, and I love that. I love connecting who's popular to the root.
Mhm.
Where did this come from? And so that's my offering. I want to encourage a love of
Mhm.
music.
Sure.
Um, and and also maybe to the point where we start playing some instruments again. How about that?
Oh, please. I mean,
And
I mean, it's just I don't call it dying art because there are people are playing it, but we need to encourage more children to touch and feel, become one with that instrument. So,
well, it's
absolutely.
becoming elite, and
Yeah.
that's the thing of, and what happens is that if it once it becomes elite and we're not in the space,
Yeah.
it becomes something that will become a conversation where that's not what we do, and
Yeah.
it's not true. The beauty of Earth, Wind, and Fire, they were playing those instruments.
That's
You know,
right. That's
James
right.
Brown ran that band like a business. He
Oh,
was like, "It's
yes.
too late. You owe me $5."
That's right.
So we wanna also tell the narratives of who these people were. Marvin Gaye was a master arranger.
Yes.
You know, um, and if you listen to those vocals, the stacks on
Mhm.
stacks, and that's the beauty of even Kenna on this record. Kenna's stacking her vocals, because I even was like, Kenna, this is not just background vocals, this is vocal arrangement. Like, that's a
Right.
whole nother skill.
Mhm.
And so we have to sort of start like really honoring and claiming that for ourselves. And I was telling
Yeah.
Zachary, I said, in my lifetime, I may not, make the money that I think I should be making.
Right.
But I need you to understand that when I'm out of here, you got to track this Shine in the Moonbeams thing, because I believe that,
Right.
there's going to come a time when
That's right.
ka-ching, we found her. She's here. Um,
Absolutely.
And I
Well,
really I love it, and I love it. It's what
okay.
I enjoy it. And
Mhm.
it's an offering. I
Great.
hope that people listen to the record. I think it's really I'm
Mm.
a fan too. I know
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
you're not supposed to say that, but
No, yeah, but you can be. I mean, it's who you are. You can tell it's genuine. But the music, again, I'm going to even take the label children off of it. You're right. It's music that just so happens to be targeting children and families.
yes.
So this is for the entire family. So let's, because sometimes I don't know if you get this when we say we do children's music, people put the word just in front of it. Oh, you
Oh,
just a children's artist.
listen, I was at a concert. This woman, I was in Marcus Garvey Park, and I was singing my stuff, like literally on the stage. We did a sound check. She comes up to me, she's like, "That's you can sing. You got a CD?" I had a CD at this time. I gave her the CD, and she looks at it because it has, it looks kitty because and
Mm-hmm.
she's like, "This is for kids." I said, "Miss, the song you just heard is on this record." And she's
Uh-huh.
like, "Oh, I don't want this. I want something that's for adults. I don't want this." And I'm like, literally, the song you like is
It's
on
right
this
there.
record.
Shining
But
in the
she couldn't get
moonbeams. Yeah.
past that. She couldn't get past the
Yeah, the image. I mean,
I get
she's
it.
judging a book by its cover, and that's
Yeah.
what we say we shouldn't do. And for those that are just tuning in, you're listening to We Nation Radio. I'm Uncle Devin, the children's drum cushionist, with the one and only Shawana Kemp, known as Shine with Shine in the Moonbeams, and we've been talking about her amazing career and her new CD, I Am. And I believe I have a picture of it. I'm gonna just pop it over top of us real quick so that people can see it. I know I have it. Oh, here it is. Let's just pop it up real quick. Shine from Shine in the Moonbeams. Oh, and we have one of the background singers. Oh, look at how adorable is that?
This is Freeway, y'all. And
Hey,
Freeway
Freeway.
gets jealous when I'm on. He'll be fine. As soon as we stop, Devin, he'll go over there and lay down. But if I'm talking to someone else, it's like,
Uh,
what about what I need? Like, okay.
uh, mm,
So Freeway's a puppy. He's not even a year yet, but he's getting big.
oh,
Isn't he huge?
wonderful.
It's like, what
Yeah.
happened? What
Is
you
that the
supposed
dog the dog I heard had a deep bark? I mean,
Yeah, I told you he thinks he's a guard dog. It's crazy. Um, but yes, so the I Am
okay.
record is available right now.
Mhm.
Please listen to it. I love it. The other song I want to mention is in the spirit of like the uh the barbershop, the conversation.
Mhm.
Did you listen to that one, Devin? You have to.
Yeah, yeah, I haven't listened to all. No, I have not gotten to that one yet. Sorry about that.
That one is really, really an ode to that one was inspired from the whole George Floyd thing and having to have
Okay.
those conversations with your young
Mhm.
boys and girls, unfortunately, of just having, going out into the world and realizing, unfortunately, there's a narrative that's about you that has nothing to do with you, but you have to know what it is. And so it's kind
Right.
of a cautionary, and it was a really difficult song, but it's
Mhm.
stunning.
Okay.
And it's in the vein of, brown boy, brown boy, brown boy. Oh, you're my joy. How I wish the world knew. So it's kind of, they would say, if the ears of today would say Amy Winehouse, but we also know that music came from us. And
Yes.
but it's really kind of heart wrenching because I talk about all of the things that you got to watch out for. And the list goes on so long that you're like, okay, it's a
Mhm.
crazy conversation. You
Right.
know, don't look at anybody. Make sure you put your hand, always have your ID. It's a lot.
Yes.
Um, and at first I was kind of like, do I want to dampen the joy? But you got to tell the truth. You have
Yes.
to tell, and this is where I'm at. My son now is 15. So the
Mhm.
conversations I was having with him at 5 are not the same conversations that I'm having with him at 15.
Right.
And so it's also an evolution of my growth as a mother and as a educator and as a Black woman in America who loves young people and young brown people. And
Right.
unfortunately, I have to tell them the truth.
Yes.
Um, So that one's a doozy. And more
Yes.
often, like I had my best friend was here one day and she started crying because she has an 18-year-old
Mm.
and she busted out in tears. And I was like, dang. And she
Wow.
said it just she said she was caught off guard
Mhm.
because she just wasn't expecting the sentiment to be so brutally honest. And I would love for you to play that one and maybe even have some
Okay.
conversations. We maybe will revisit just
Let's do that.
yeah.
Let's
Uh,
revisit it. I'll let me take a listen to it, but also have a conversation about it because we can't have enough. And even that's something that's even shorter that we can just share on our social media pages. So I'll be glad
mhm.
to do that.
Yes, and it's really it's from the heart, like I'm
Mhm.
living with this, it's really about because the sentiment at the end is just make it home to me, because I love you,
Mm,
you
yes.
know,
Yes.
um because the world don't see you like I do. So just make it
Yes.
home. And
That's
like
right.
it's simple, but it's like when Zachary's like, I want to go out, my friends and I'm like,
I know.
no, go in the room.
Yeah, I know.
Because I know who
It's
you are when you're in the room.
exactly, exactly.
But so yes, so it's the
Okay.
gamut. It's it's
Yes.
it's it's really, really, really beautiful.
Sure.
We do a song called Hello, which introduces children all over the world,
Mhm.
languages that people say hello. And that was a mouthful, but I tried to make it. I'm tried to make it work. But I really enjoyed this record, and I enjoyed.
Good.
It helped me concentrate on something other than going to the supermarket every day because that was the only thing that was open.
Right.
And now I gotta
Yeah.
cook some of this food.
Well,
So,
listen, we're going to end in just a minute, but I can't end without us first talking a little about the One Tribe Collective.
yes.
You are one of three producers for a historic album that I'm honored to be a part of. Talk a little bit about the album, and so for those who may not have heard about it, and why you got involved with
Well, the One Tribe Collective was an effort that was really kind of started as a conversation by Amelia Robinson,
it. Hmm.
who kind of called me up. Like again, this was all around the pandemic, and she was like, "Well, I want to do a record, and I feel like Black artists right now." And I said, "Well, I would love to do it." And then that article came. There was an article that came out in the Rolling Stone that basically uh, highlighted the fact that Black artists are not getting nominated in this space.
Hmm.
And because I've been in this space, I guess I've been in this space the longest.
Hmm.
I wouldn't say the longest because I don't know everybody in the space,
Right.
but this was also an opportunity to familiarize ourselves with the people who are doing this music.
Right.
And there are a lot of people, and you brought in a lot of people, Devin, and to start to own some aspects of our own contributions, because I feel like also often we wait for other people to tell us that we're doing a good job or that we're valid or that that we make sense, and that's not that's I'm not concerned with whether I don't do it for that. I do it
Exactly.
because um, and it's expensive, y'all. Like
Yeah.
this is not, there are no
No.
record deals in this.
No.
This is a labor of love and it is financially
Yeah.
risky, I
Yes.
wouldn't say risky. It's I put my
It's an
money where my
investment.
mouth is. It's an
It's
investment.
it's it's a true investment. Yes.
And it is time, money, managing other people. And so it was really lovely to be in a place for me. The reason why I also said yes was that it was great to sort of be in a position where I wasn't in charge of everything
Yeah.
because that's exhausting.
Yeah.
You're calling everybody, you're calling back the people, you're sending this. So it was lovely to kind of contribute a song, but
Mhm.
sort of be a part of this collective space where we were sharing the responsibility for crafting a narrative.
Yes.
And that was nice because so often we do we work so hard. We do
Mhm.
so much.
Yes.
And that's why it's kind of I get why people are upset, because it's like, wait a minute, why are we never celebrated
Hmm.
or acknowledged in this space when it comes to getting the acknowledgement or the accolades or the awards?
Yes.
So, and there's a disconnect, because it's like, for me, like, I'm playing Carnegie Hall and I'm here and I'm there, but when it comes to like getting the real national recognition, it's like, who that?
Yeah. Exactly.
You know,
Exactly. Yeah.
crickets. And I've gotten over that, because it's, unfortunately, it's not only in children's music. We know this.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's
It's
historic.
it's historic, and it's
Yeah.
so what I loved about doing this collective is that we took ownership of our own journey and our own narrative, and people will find it. And
Yes.
people will discover it, because it exists.
Mhm.
And it's some really amazing music, and it runs the spectrum. Again, it's reggae, it's,
Mhm.
I do a go-go song, there's
Mhm. Yes. I
um
mean, there's R&B, there's hip hop, there's folk,
there's
there's
folk,
country.
there's country, there's
Yeah.
what would you call, like, I mean, some really beautiful,
Yeah.
and also it's intergenerational, which
Yes.
I love,
Hmm.
because our people are at it, our people are leaving.
Yeah.
And so it's
Exactly.
very important for us to connect with people that are not just, in their 30s and their 20s.
Right.
There are a lot of people who are in this. I think one of the oldest people on the record is in her 60s, and she celebrates that. And I'm very happy,
Yes.
because, she was here before
Yeah.
me.
Exactly.
She got
And
stuff to say.
that's right. And
And
part of
so, mhm.
24 black artists just, coming together for the One Tribe album. So I just wanted to put the website up in case others want to
Yes,
go
and
and learn
please
more about it.
check it out. We're have our hat, our feather in that hat for the Grammys. Why not?
Yes.
And again, it's an opportunity and an entry point. So
Mhm.
you might only like the go-go song, you might only like the reggae song, but it's all there, and you
Yes.
can scroll until you find whatever makes you, whatever resonates for you, because
Right.
everybody doesn't like everything, and that's the other beauty. Choices
Yeah.
is choices are always a great thing. And I think, before we leave,
Hmm.
the other thing that we want to dispel is that there's only one. Time
Exactly.
out for that. It's like this whole exceptionalism thing is not, it's not working for us. So, the space has to be diversified with us.
Yes.
We can't always be the lone diversity factor. We
Mhm.
can do a
That's right.
roster. We can do a next summer we can go and do a concert with the
Hmm.
One Tribe collective,
Right.
and you will certainly have a full experience, a full musical experience with just the people that are on this record.
Exactly.
And so I'm very proud of that.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for being a part of that, for being part of the leadership to bring all us together,
Well,
and for being a pioneer in family music for all these years.
well, thank you. I'm really inspired by this space.
Mhm.
It's evergreen. There's a baby being born as we speak.
Right.
And I think, you know, the children shall lead us. And more than ever, I think all children need to know what our contributions in music have been,
Absolutely.
and are currently. And if we don't celebrate the people that know for sure, if we're not, calling their names and
Yes.
honoring them, then we're doing a disservice to music, because
Absolutely.
we the ones.
Absolutely.
I'm
That's right.
sorry.
You're
We the
right.
ones.
We the ones.
We
Well,
the
thank
ones.
you so much for this awesome, awesome interview. I
Thank
wish
you.
you all the success. I am.
Yes.
Very powerful statement. If we all say that every day and understand the true power of that, then we have nothing to worry about. So
And
thank
it
you so
changes.
much.
And the beauty
Yes.
is that, it gives us opportunity, because every day you might be feeling something. I am happy. I am sad. I am frustrated. I
Yes.
am hung, whatever it is, it's an open-ended statement. And so,
Absolutely.
and then
Absolutely.
also, it's about, I am a child of God, and
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm
That's
here.
right. We're here.
Yes.
All
Okay.
right.
Well, thank you so
Well,
much, Devin. I
you're
appreciate it.
welcome. Thank you for this time, and we'll be in contact, and we'll do that follow up on the other song
We
as well.
really should. We should really
Yeah,
do. We should really kind of focus on that. I think it would be a really
okay,
amazing conversation.
sounds great. Let's
Yeah,
let's consider it done. We'll it's October. We'll get it done before the end of the month. I
beautiful,
like to just it's on the calendar now, so we'll make that happen.
beautiful. Thank you
All
so
right,
much. Say
you're
hello to
welcome.
Rita, and if I don't see you, happy Thanksgiving.
Well, thank you.
Oh,
But we'll be in
Halloween.
contact before
Happy
that. Trust
Halloween.
me.
Okay,
Halloween. Okay, all right, take
exactly.
care. And that was the one and only Shine with or Shawana Kemp, known as Shine with Shine in the Moonbeams. Make sure you go over to shinemoonbeams.com or go to Instagram. Matter of fact, just follow. She got some amazing stories that you can find on her Instagram page at Shine and the Moonbeams. At Shine in the Moonbeams, and you'll love this album. But I want you to go back and get all of her albums. I mean, all I believe it's three. I should have asked for that, but you'll see them all when you go to her page, and you can even just go to Amazon or what have you and find the music. But listen, I'm Uncle Devin, the children's drum cushionist. I got to get out of here. Thank you for hanging with me all day today. Make sure to visit us at wenationradio.com. 24/7 music, all for you. But I got to go, and just remember, as I always say, life is a drum, so beat it.